So I think the secret sauce behind this year's Liverpool success has to be Jurgen Klopp.
So their coach, big reason why they're doing well. Okay. How about the players? Because for me, when you look at the names on the team sheet, they're not average players by any means. Yeah. They're solid players, and that's where you can leave it at. But you would never say that these are all world-class players on this team sheet. Well, mind you, Henderson is not a world-class player. Well, he's not a world-class midfielder. But Firmino, would you say he's a world-class striker?
But you got to think about it. Henderson has been a household name. He's been around for a long time. He's been at Sunderland, and from Sunderland to go to Liverpool. But he's a guy that is a squad player. He comes in, he puts in a shift. You want those kind of players on your team. You look at Firmino, the things that he has done. Should we say, okay, is he better than maybe a Suarez? Maybe not. Right?
I would not say that.
He's not a better striker than Suarez.
No,
is he a better striker than Benzema? That's questionable. But what he's so effective at doing is he's a team player. He drops in deep. He can get the ball. He can turn. He can lay it off to the other players on the field.
Agree.
And then he can put himself in a position where he can finish for the team if needed, right? So, yes, he may not be a world-class player, but what you get from him is a player that knows his role and he's doing it very effectively. So
I agree.
That makes him a world-class player.
I agree. Okay, so we know he may not be better than Suarez is.
Yeah.
And you guys can let us know if you disagree.
Yeah.
Whether Firmino is better than the Suarez and the Benzemas, the current top strikers in European football. If you think he's one of them, let us know. Sergio Aguero.
I don't even think he's on par with Lewandowski at this point.
Wow. Okay.
So, I mean,
you guys let us know.
Yeah.
But I have to say this because this is always something that people don't mention, right? Do you think Firmino currently is as good as he is, or is as good as people think he is because of the team and the players that are around him? Because look, if Mane is not there, if Salah's not there, to be making the runs inside the space that he vacates all the time when he drops in and plays, would we say, oh wow, he's a top striker? Because if you drop in the midfield just to connect with the rest of your team, you're not the one up there scoring goals anymore.
But if you think about it, it's also the system that is built in around him. Right?
That's what I'm saying.
He's part of a system that works well.
If he's not part of the system, this exact system that we're seeing.
But he's a great finisher, though.
Of course, that too.
I think on any team with any players around him, he'd be successful. He goes to any top club with good players around him that can play to his strength. He'll be a very good striker.
That's tough for me to say. Yes, I agree with you, and you guys can let us know. But if you put Firmino right now on a team like Man United, they're still struggling. You know why? Because they don't have the Manes, they don't have the Salahs to do what is allowing Firmino to be successful.
Yeah, so they can build around him if that's necessary.
I think those two are key as to why Firmino right now is becoming one of the best assets for Liverpool.
To a certain extent, because I think every player has their strength, right, and their weaknesses, and I think what Firmino brings to the table currently is his ability. I think, yes, the system works to his advantage. I think having Mane and Salah next to him also works to his advantage, but he's in his player himself. He's able to do things. He's able to play. Like
he's a good finisher.
He's a great finisher.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So on any team, if he's in a 6 or anywhere around a 6, he can create his own chances and he can put those balls in the back of the net. So I think Firmino is one of those great players they have on the squad, and he's doing his thing. Maybe can he do the same thing without Mane and Salah? Who knows? We will never know that. But currently the system that he's in is providing him the opportunity to be able to be the player that he currently is. But we have Mane, who I think is a world-class player.
For sure.
But, he's a world-class player. I think he should have won the Ballon d'Or last year. And unfortunately, I think that was taken away from him. He should have won it. But, we know the Ballon d'Or is a race between Messi and Ronaldo, and they keep...
Of course.
So we'll see. But to me, that is a player.
Right.
That's a player. That's a top player. That's a very unselfish player. That's a very motivated player. That's a very hungry player. You can see on the field he's consistent in his work rate. He's always looking for ways to connect with his teammates.
Okay.
He's a great finisher. Not the greatest finisher, but
he scores enough goals.
He scored the goals that he needs to score.
Some very big goals. Some goals where you're like, whoa, I can't believe he finished that.
Yeah.
But then he misses some that you're like, you should have put that away. And I think that's one of the reasons why Firmino is so key for this Liverpool side is because When you give him a chance, he'll put it away.
Yeah.
The Manes and the Salahs will create a bunch of chances, put some away, but Firmino, his shot conversion rate is very, very high.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the weakest link on this Liverpool side at the moment?
Weakest link.
If there is one.
Honestly, I don't think there's any weakest link on the squad. I think those guys, all 11 players plus the bench players that comes on board they are giving their 100%. You see, that's one thing. When you consistently step on a pitch and you're looking to give 110%, or you are always giving 110%, I think necessarily you cannot be considered necessarily a weakest link, especially on this Liverpool squad, because everyone is putting in the work, right? You know whether you're the dribbler of the team or you're the tackler of the team. You know if you're just getting past the type of player on the team or you're just there to catch it, whatever. They all know their roles, right? You know what I mean? And they're doing that on a consistent basis. They're making sure that they're putting a quality performance at what they're good at doing. You know what I mean? Salah is not trying to be Van Dijk, and Van Dijk is not trying to be Firmino. You know, they all understand their role. Van Dijk's job is to make sure that back line is tight. He's making sure he's reading everything that could be dangerous to the team, and he's snuffling those things out, taking them out of the way. When Salah, as we saw against Man United, when he gets those chances that are crucial, he's going to put them away. He's going to put those away. So
he missed some very easy sitters in that Man United game.
For sure. But the thing is, this, I think when we're having on the topic that we're talking about, I think is that personally there's no weak link on that team.
Okay. So if there's no weak link, as you're saying, if you guys disagree and you have some way you think, or some player on the team that you think, hey, he should be the one that teams are looking to exploit each week, let us know. But if you're saying there's no weak link on the team, then how does any team, whether a Premier League team, a Champions League team that they're going to face, how does any team break this Liverpool side down? What are some ways we can get at this Liverpool side and maybe give them their first loss of the season?
I think you know what it is. If you really want to give a chance to, if you really want to beat Liverpool, I think they're playing so well right now.
Okay.
The only way to really beat those guys is you gotta be perfect. I mean, you have to be perfect. You literally have to have the best defending on that day. You need to have the best striking boots on that day. You need to have the best, your goalkeeper needs to be on task on that day. And you just have to go pound and pound with them. Because I think right now to say that any team can just go off of this thing they can exploit about Liverpool, we haven't seen it. I mean, for you to collect 91 points out of 93, you got to be doing something right that no one else can figure out. So I think to beat Liverpool, it's a tough task. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think we're in a position right now where Liverpool being beaten in the league is it's going to be difficult.
So one thing that I got from the Man United game was when you play them, you will get chances. If you don't take them, you're in trouble.
Correct.
You will get chances, whether they're half chances or clean, full-on, I'm through chances.
So that goes
chances.
That goes back to my point of saying you have to be perfect.
Okay.
Because if you're not, you will get chances, but you have to be perfect.
Because they'll get chances too.
They will get chances as well. You know what I mean? That one chance that you miss, and they hit you on the counter, that's how you lose the game.
That's true.
So that means that so it's such a high demand from a team to go against Liverpool and say, hey, we're gonna go to you toe to toe, and we're gonna beat you. Can a team do it? I think so. It's possible. But right now, I mean, you have to be perfect to be able to take that opportunity to go toe to toe with Liverpool and then come out, smiling.
So let me know what you think about this. And you guys, let me know what you think about this as well. When they play Man United, one way I think Man United could have been more successful is if we had, I say we as in Man United, if Man United had wingers that were willing to go 1v1.
Correct.
Because, yes, Alexander-Arnold is fantastic at going forward. But I don't think he gets tested enough on his defensive qualities. And I think if you have a player with a lot of pace, like James, Rashford, you might see in your Sterlings, Traore, Adama, and all these players, I think that's the area that teams should be looking to exploit. Go 1v1, get the ball switched quickly to your wingers, and have them go 1v1 at these outside backs and see if we can create chances.
But that's the thing, though. Yes, they can do that, right? And you can beat them. But as we saw in the Man United game, those players are afraid of putting the ball in the box because you have Van Dijk, that is a powerhouse in the air.
Of course.
You put it in the air, he's going to win it. On the ground, he's quite good as well, right? And you have Alisson in goal. That's a great goalkeeper, something that Liverpool has been lacking for the past couple of years, but they finally found that in Alisson, right? So I think, yes, these players can go 1v1 and beat the man, and then what?
That's the thing. So if you have your wingers, you go 1v1, you beat the defender that's in front of you. You're looking for the cutbacks. You're looking for the crosses on the ground in front of goal where they can potentially concede an own goal.
This is what we're seeing. Everyone gets back and defend. You know what I mean? So they're closing the top six. They're closing. They're being on top of the top six. They're inside the six. They're inside the 18. They're everywhere. Like they all come back. So yes, you
quality
can cut the ball
wingers
back.
that go 1v1, cut the ball back. The other team needs to have players inside the box. Now, it leaves you susceptible to a counterattack.
There
yes,
you go. So that's what everyone is afraid of.
You need to get players inside that box because if you're not taking these chances, you're not scoring any goals.
So
and you're going to concede an opportunity.
It goes back to my point of saying, in order for anybody to be Liverpool currently, they have to be perfect. They have to be perfect, which is not easy because you have to have it your day and hopefully Liverpool has a bad day, which they haven't shown that they will have a bad day. So
very true.
Listen, we're talking a lot of things right now that we're going into play. We're talking, okay, we have a manager that's really influencing the team. We have players that are very bought into the system and into how to, what they want to do. They have a system that's working well for them currently. I mean, everyone is putting 110% for this team to be successful. We've talked tactics, even how other teams can beat them. Tactically, it seems quite impossible, because they all defend so well.
That's for sure.
You know what I mean? Whether you have fast wingers that can beat them 1v1, you have, they have great center backs that are sitting in there waiting for any ball to come into the box. You have a great goalkeeper that's doing his job. You have the midfielders that quickly drops back to cover any gaps that are left on top of the box. So there's a lot of ways right now that Liverpool cannot be beat. So they're on par to being, one of the best teams we've seen around.
This team is scary.
Yeah.
And I think yes, they only have a few games left in the Premier League. By a few, I mean like a handful. Right?
Yeah.
But if they still have to play Man City, I think Pep is one of the coaches with his players and the demand for perfection. Mm-hmm. He might be the coach that ends up giving Liverpool their first loss. Because, like we said, switching the ball quickly and doing all those things, everybody has to be bought in. Everybody has to understand the style in order for them to get a result against this Liverpool side. So if and when they play Man City again, that might be the last opportunity for anybody to take points off this Liverpool side.
You know who I think is the perfect team that's going to beat them?
Don't tell me Arsenal. You're wasting your time.
I think the script has been written, right?
Let it go.
I think the script has been written.
That's where we end.
For Arsenal to be the team that defeats Liverpool, so they will not end up as invincible.
He's just saying that because he's an Arsenal supporter.
I think the script has been.
I watch Arsenal play.
Okay. Because Liverpool is coming to Arsenal.
He didn't get all 3 points.
They're coming to Arsenal, and I think the script is perfectly written for us to make sure we stop them from.
You don't have the wingers needed to be able to disrupt this side.
It's not about the wingers. It's not about the. Remember what I said earlier.
You're not going to win the game anywhere else.
It's not about the wingers. Remember what I said earlier.
You're not going to win the game anywhere else.
The manager effect. Mikel Arteta right now is on top. That's the end of story.
Arsenal hasn't had a perfect game yet.
Don't worry about it.
You said we
won't be perfect against Liverpool.
Okay.
So we won't be perfect against Liverpool at home.
We'll see about that. Guys, let us know what you think. If Arsenal is the side that's definitely going to take points off this Liverpool side.
But
I don't think so. You guys let us know. But Liverpool, you guys are doing some fantastic things. I hope you do all the things that you guys have left on your plate. Invincible, treble, Premier League, that's already done. What you guys are doing right now, you guys are setting the bar very, very high. And I think what we just discussed with Coach Kokou here about the manager, the players, the effect on the team that the manager has on the players, the work ethic, the work rate, how every player is bought in. I think all of these things are playing a massive, massive role in the success of Liverpool. Any last thoughts?
Last thought for me, I would say, honestly, Jurgen Klopp is having a huge influence on modern day coaching. For me personally, being a manager myself, learning from this man and how he's able to influence his players and the impact that he's having on the squad and the way his team is playing with the energy. I think a lot of us can learn from him, even young coaches coming into the game. I think we should spend more time watching Klopp and reading his book and his interview and trying to see how much we can learn from him. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, right? And also leave a comment on your thoughts. And
That's it. We'll see you next time on Pingit Football Show. Guys, we're out.
Just ping it!